welcome the president of the union to give us a welcome address because before we have to commence this, he needs to welcome us before we continue. So, Mr. Edmond Agbaja, kindly take the floor and then give us your presentation as you wait for others also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PRO, and thank you for the hosts. Um, Thank you for the opportunity. I want to start by giving a very short. But before then, good evening, everyone. Good evening, alumni.
Good evening.
Now, continuous students who are also joining us. Good evening. I take this opportunity to welcome everybody to today's program, dubbed Positioning for Opportunities. We have to understand that as alumni, as our fathers and mothers that are in our midst who have charted this path and have gotten some experience, we as alumni, we are eager to share this experience with you and also to learn from everybody. And also to our continuous students, we want to also seize the opportunity to encourage us to take this moment, build meaningful connection. You can connect with people on this platform as you begin to know where people are coming from, their background. It is opportunity for us to connect. Even though it is not a face-to-face, it's a virtual program, we can still connect. Tonight, let us try as much as possible to explore, find ways to unlock our potentials of every challenge that we can overcome in our lives as educationists. Um, I also want to say that yes, we are here to learn from each other, and I thank you for coming. I welcome each and every one on today's program, this maiden program, and I know this is not going to be the first and then the last. We have more coming, so you are welcome. Let's enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So, as said by the president of the union, we are here to explore and then also find ways to connect with one another. So, if you are a continuing student or you are an alumni, you are not at a missing place at all. You are also in your home, and then it's the time for you to also explore and then connect with others. And then yeah, the future is always going to be promising. So I won't take much time, but I will urge all of us, if once you are here, kindly share the link with people who are also colleagues of ours or alumni, so that they also keep joining as the presentation is ongoing. So I'll give the podium to Mr. Albert Salom Kofi Dunu to take us through this evening's webinar. Mr. Albert, over to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, God knows, and Mr. Agbaja, the PASU president. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. If you can, just give me a thumbs
Yes.
up emoji to show that you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Yes. So before I even commence this discussion or presentation, we are not here to talk about me, but it is very important that at least you get to know who I am, so that when I'm making certain points or speaking, you get to understand the perspective I am coming from. I want to also iterate that I might not be the best person to speak on this issue, or I might not be the best person to speak on this topic, because I am not that experienced. That is why this is a discussion. On this call, I can see a number of senior comrades, colleagues, engineers who might have more perspective and be more knowledgeable in this topic per se than me. But as we dive in, I want you to note that this is a discussion. I am Albert Dunu, a past student. I graduated 2022. I studied ICT mathematics. Um, by the way, I didn't get a first class. Yes, I'm saying that for a reason. Um, um, Currently, I am a teacher as well. At the same time, I work with an NGO that is committed to teacher professional development called Ghana Society for Education Technology, where I work as the EdTech Support Associate. In sum, I support teachers to integrate technology into their teaching. I've been doing this job for a little over 1 year, and I've gathered a little experience that I believe I can share and that I believe can guide us through today's session. So, to commence, I want us to take a look at a picture I have here. I have a picture here, picture A and picture B. So I want this to be very interactive. So is there anyone who wants to tell us the difference between picture A and picture B? You can just put up your hand and just communicate that to us. The difference between picture A and picture B.
Yeah, Albert and Emmanuel has made the answer.
Okay, so I think, yeah. So go ahead. If your hand is up, I can see Elikem Choco. Go ahead.
Can I?
Yes, you can. You can.
With picture A, I can see people are around. Let me say a technology, but with picture B, there are technologies, but no one is there.
Okay. Okay, great. I think I get that. Is there anyone else? One more. What is the difference between picture? What you said is right. That's exactly what we can see there. But is there anyone who is seeing things from a different angle? Anyone? This is supposed to be a discussion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Can I?
Yes.
All right. All right. So
Hello,
the
Sir Albert.
okay.
Please, who is speaking? Okay, I think Mr. Agbaja is
Yes,
speaking. Yes, Mr. Agbaja, kindly go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. If I look at the two pictures, one, the picture A, what I see is the people working on a car, assembling a car, and then you see that picture. The second picture is about is robotic or robot assembling a car or a vehicle. That is what I see.
Thank you very much. I'm sure if we open up, a lot of us have things that we can see or the differences from these two pictures. And if we want to leave us for the day, I'm sure we can write 15 books out of these two pictures because there is a lot going on there. And as Mr. Agbaja rightly said, picture A is a car assembling line. But with this car assembling line, you can see people assembling the car. So we have a number of people, they are assembling the car. Then picture B is also a car assembling line. But you can't see anybody there. We can only see robots doing the assembling. So picture B is probably the era we are in now. And that is Industrial Revolution 4.0. Industry 4.0 in general. And this is the industry we are in now, and this is the era we are in now. there might be people behind, or there are people behind these robots, but you won't see them. And I'm not sure the people behind these robots are more or a lot like those in picture A. So I want us, this is just a quick brainstormer. Let's take note of that first. Now, before we can actually position ourselves for this age or this industry 4.0, we need to understand this age, or we need to understand industry 4.0. There are a number of things that industry 4.0 is characterized by. I'm sure if I want you to mention, you can mention a number of them, but I have a few of them listed here. Some are synonymous, but they are not the same. So we have accelerate digital transformation. Yes, currently in this industry, we are doing things however we can to just transform from the industry 3.0, which is a bit manpower demanding, to technology. So you see that a lot of organizations and a lot of sectors are transitioning rapidly to the digital age. This industry is also characterized by continuous innovation and rapid change. So today, something that you knew or you know how to do today, probably tomorrow it changes, or even today it changes. You just wake up one morning and they say there is a generative AI that can generate lesson plan, your whole lesson plan for you. So you don't need to write the lesson plan from scratch anymore. So if you are someone who is dependent on writing the lesson plan from scratch, it gets to a point where you are actually doing that using a generative AI. These are the rapid, very, very fast changes coming in. It is also data driven. So in this industry, we don't just take decisions based on what we feel or what we think. We take decisions based on data, based on research. This industry is also characterized by automation and artificial intelligence. I spoke about that a little. There are a number of things, especially tasks that are repetitive or tasks that are recurring, something that you do almost all the time continuously. Some of these things are being automated now, so you don't have to keep doing them. And all this is giving a rise in the digital economy. So today, people don't have to go to a factory to assemble a car. They can even sit in their room and they can earn from the digital economy. From this, today, people don't need to take books and go to the books and chalk and go to the classroom to go and teach. People are sitting in their rooms and they are developing courses, they are developing trainings, and they are earning from that economy. You realize that this age has also disrupted the traditional industries that we know. So you realize that a lot of businesses and a lot of roles or traditional roles are going into extinction. There was this picture on social media some time ago where we had this cameraman for the TV stations in a helicopter and capturing from the top. Then we have another picture where we have a drone doing the same work. So you realize that about three people's jobs will be repurposed. The one flying the helicopter will become a drone pilot. The cameraman on top of this thing holding the camera could also become a drone pilot, or could also sit in his house whilst the pilot flies. He's directing the pilot on where to go for the best image capture. So you realize that this age is characterized by a lot of new things and a lot of rapid change. This should help us understand this age very well. And once you understand this age, you know where to position yourself, or you know what to do to position yourself. The next thing is, what skills do we need in this age? We know that this age is characterized by technological advancement, rapid change and innovation and all that. So what skills do you need to fit into that change? In change, there is something called signal and response. A signal is what is everybody going by today. What is everybody going by? Today, everybody is using AI. The response will be you learning how to use AI. You can't say, oh, no, I will not respond to this. Once you decide not to respond to a signal of change, then you will become obsolete. You become, or you will go into extinction like the dinosaurs. You will just be there, but you don't exist. That is why everybody is trying to pick up skills. But what skills do we need for this age? Or what skills do we need as a response to these signals? So according to a program by Intel, they call it Intel Skill for Innovators. They outlined 7 sets of skills that they believe that we need for innovation in the 4th industrial age or in the 4th industrial revolution. So they mentioned skills like programming and coding. They mentioned skills like simulation and modeling. They mentioned skills like data science. They mentioned skills like artificial intelligence and machine learning. Then they further mentioned skills like design thinking and computational thinking. Then they mentioned social emotional skills or social emotional skills. I'll talk about this further. So Intel SFI further grouped this set of skills into skill sets and mindsets. They further group them into skill sets and mindsets. If we are talking about skill sets, we are talking about things that you can do with technology. Basically with technology. What can you do with technology? If you are a teacher, what can you do with technology? Can you actually collect data and analyze data and get insight from that data with technology? Can you implement some sort of programming or coding? Not the coding and programming sometimes bring shivers to people, but coding and programming does not really mean hard, you sitting and all that. I'll talk about it later in the discussion. Simulations and modeling. How do you sit down and simulate a situation to know the outcome? Artificial intelligence, machine learning. How do you use ChatGPT effectively? How do you use DeepSeek effectively? How do you use Gemini? Aside all that, we have generative and predictive AIs. How do you use them? How do you use them? So those falls under all those fall under skill sets. Then we have mindsets. Mindsets have to do with concepts like design thinking. Now, when we talk of design thinking, a lot of people narrow it to being a graphic designer. No, not that sort of design thinking. Design thinking is all about how are you going to use a scientific method to design the solution to a problem or to propose the solution to a problem. So in design thinking, we have things like empathy, where you are collecting data from people and actually understanding what people feel and what people want. Then we move to define. You now use the data you collect from empathy or from interviewing them. You now use that data to actually define what the problem of the people or what the problem is. It could be your own problem, what the problem is. Then from there you now ideate. You now come up with an idea to solve the problem. And after ideating, you can now develop whoever is sharing, kindly stop sharing. I think I took the host right, so you can share. Please stop sharing so that everyone else can see my screen. I don't know. I think, is it Clemens? Yes, Clemens. Okay, thank you very much. So that is design thinking. After you have ideated and developed, you can now test your solution to see whether it works. That is design thinking. Then we have computational thinking. With computational thinking, we are talking about you solving problem using scientific methods, or in fact, when it comes to computational thinking, there are 4 components of computational thinking. We have a component called abstraction. If there is a problem before you, how do you identify the most important thing in the problem? That is abstraction. So I always use this as the example. In the case where they put 2 bullfruit, we put 2 bullfruit on the table, and you ask your students, if I take the bullfruit, I take one bullfruit and put it beside the other, what will be left? Then the student will raise up the hand and tell you it will be left with the oil on the table. That students cannot do abstraction. They don't know that the most important thing or the concept you want to teach them is not the oil and the bullfruit. You want to teach them subtraction or addition. You get the point? So abstraction is identifying the most important thing in the problem, or when a situation arises. Then we also have decomposition. How do you break the problem down into pieces? How do you break the problem down into pieces? Then we also have algorithm. How do you design step-by-step approaches to solve that problem? So when it comes to computational thinking, it has nothing to do with computers. It's about solving problems using computational thinking strategies to solve problems. Basically, the reason why they call it this is because this is the same procedure computers go through to solve problems. Then finally, we also have socio-emotional skills. The social emotional skills are so important. So you could have the skill sets, you could have the mindsets. You want to grow, you are a problem solver, you are a critical thinker, but you have poor communication, bad attitude, you don't respect those kind of things. We know them. So after having the skill sets and the mindsets, if you don't have the socio-emotional skills, you don't know how to relate with people and all that, then you might not be able to survive in this era. So it is very important that we have these 3 sets of skills to survive in this era: the skill sets, the mindsets, and the social emotional skills. Now, I know I'm moving a bit fast, but there will be time for questions. How do you identify opportunities in this age? I love this part. How do you identify opportunities in this age? Now, a lot of us think that opportunities or opportunity is anything good that comes to you. In fact, I'm not an expert in identifying opportunities, but in my lifetime, I have identified a number of opportunities, either accidentally or intentionally. I've also identified some opportunities that were unpleasant to me, and I've also identified pleasant opportunities. Opportunities come in all forms. Sometimes the opportunity could be staring at you and you're also staring at it, but you don't know it's an opportunity. Sometimes too, you know it is an opportunity, but you don't have the skill set, the mindset, and socio-emotional skills to fit or to grab that opportunity. So I'm going to let's discuss how you should know if this is an opportunity and if that opportunity is for you. To identify opportunities, I chanced upon this technique I think over a year ago. It's a technique called IKGAI. IKGAI is a Japanese concept that means reason for being or purpose of being. Why what is your purpose in life? That is what IKGAI sought to explain. So IKGAI help individuals identify their true purpose by aligning 4 main elements. Now these 4 main elements, I want us to, if you have a piece of paper beside you or anything, I want us to do this exercise. So I want you to take a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, on that piece of paper, I'm trying to get a highlighter. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've gotten some. So on that piece of paper, just divide the piece of paper into 4 this way. At the top here, put right there what you love. What do you love? There is something that you love. So I'm sure someone is tempted to tell me love women. Not that one. We are talking about skills. We are talking about things you can do. What do you love? To be frank, I've always loved teaching. So in my case, I've always loved teaching. Pardon my sketchy handwriting. So I've always loved teaching. So yes, I love teaching. Now on the other quadrant, you want to ask yourself, what are you good at? Yes, I love teaching, but I might not be good at teaching. What are you good at? So all my life, I've noticed one thing. I lived in a house where screwdrivers, testers, and all those things were very common. So I was fond of opening when I'm bored. When they do light out and I'm bored in the house, I was really fond of opening TVs. I'll just open the TV for no reason, look inside and close it back. Then my dad got a computer for my elder brother, and I could spend the whole day without eating on the computer. There I realized that no, I had the love. Not love. And whilst I was doing that, even though I loved that, I could easily do things that I've seen a lot of people struggling to do. So I realized I was good with technology, digital technology. So I was very good with computers. Then the next one, what does the world need? So later in my life, just reading about the 4th industrial revolution, I realized that the world need people who have people who can think, problem solvers and critical thinkers. The world need people who have skill sets like coding and programming. The world need people who have mindsets like computational thinking and design thinking. So I realized, okay, the world needs this. So I started learning things that the world needed, and that was the first time I learned. So I started learning graphic design. So I started learning graphic design somewhere. In fact, I started learning graphic design when I was in JHS. In fact, primary, because then our teacher taught us stenciling in visual arts. So when I was in primary, I was doing stenciling and printing people's nicknames on the back of their shirts and already taking money. And it continued, and I came to realize that no, I'm good with design. So I furthered it, length, and note, I didn't go to school of design, but I took time to learn some of these skills on my own. We'll be talking about how to learn some of these skills. So I learned these skills and realized that okay, I was good with these technologies. I also love teaching. How do I combine the two? And in combining the two, I noticed that the world needed my skills. The world need a teacher. The world also need a teacher who is good with technology. We get the point here. So there I found a mission. Then I moved forward, and I kept on thinking, so will the world pay me for all these skills I have? Would they pay me? Yes. Graphic design is lucrative. People are paying for it. People pay me just because they're having problem with their windows. When we were in school, college, you get someone's window crashing and they bring it, and because you have a bootable pen drive, you get hot 50 CDs fresh, just because the person doesn't know that they can go to get into PC, download Windows 10, go and watch YouTube video and burn it onto a pen drive and run it. I can just get 50 CDs fresh just like that. So the world was ready to pay me for those skills. Now I'm talking about myself, but I want you to also go into deep reflection and do something like this for yourself. It might not be the same. I'm sure some of you be forced to maybe state some of the things I'm stating, but I did this reflection a long time ago and realized it. It's not something you can figure out maybe in a day. It might take you time, but I want you to take your time. Go and read more about the IKGAI model or the IKGAI framework and use it to actually identify your purpose and where you want to go. Now, because the world can pay me, I'm now in a profession where I am teaching. I am helping teachers to integrate technology into teaching. I am using technology to teach. I am using technology to enhance my work, and I am being paid for it because I understand education, which is teaching, and I also understand technology. And that is how I found my purpose. And because I have this purpose, if I go anywhere and I see an opportunity that aligns with my purpose, I quickly run and grab it. When I was in school, I've always heard of the term educational technology or education technology, but I didn't know much about it. I remembered in one of the these psychology lessons, Madam Alice also, she asked what we wanted to be in future, and I said educational technologist. I was not sure of what I was saying. But after reading about it years later, I saw that path aligned with my purpose, and with that, I continued pursuing it, and I want to pursue it to the latter. You can also do this for yourself and align your goals according to, or your purpose according to, using the IKGAI framework. So the IKGAI framework is like a Venn diagram with 4 sides. The intersection is your purpose, which is IKGAI, your purpose in life. So try and go and use this framework to see if you can align yourself to things. Now, how do we pick up skills? You want to pick up skills and be good with skills so that when an opportunity comes your way, you can fit into that particular opportunity. So how do you pick up skills? There are a number of ways. In fact, we know some of them. There are a number of ways. We have free and low cost e-learning platforms, a lot of them. The first time I learned UI UX design, I learned it from a platform called AQ Skills. I paid 68 CDs for it. Today, I can see myself moving in that part of UI UX design, and I can see how that aligns with the education technology career I want to pursue. I'm sure some of us spend more than 70 CDs a day. There are platforms like that, very, very cheap courses. There are certification platforms. If I talk of certification platforms, a lot of us don't know that Google has Google certification for education, or Google for education, where Google teach you free. They teach you about their workspace, their Google tools, how to use it in education, and they certify you for it. And it's a global certification. So if someone call you a Google certified educator, you're on a different level. Microsoft is also having a certification, Microsoft certified educator. Can you imagine? Apple is having Apple certified educator. Minecraft is having Minecraft certified educator. A lot of them, they are there. If you search the internet, you will get them. Social media. So when I started education, I started e-learning development with tools like Articulate Storyline. I just went on social media and I started following people who were already into that sector, and they are always sharing videos and all that. Trust me, all my projects I've ever built with Storyline, I learned it from one particular guy called, I can't even mention his name, he's from Pakistan, called NR Nazif or Nazik of sort. I'm always scrolling on his social media page because he's always sharing new things that I learn, new things that I don't know. So social media is so powerful. That is another place you can learn skills. Now, also join online communities or join professional learning communities. Before I even started working with the Ghana Society for Education Technology, I had already been following Ghana Society for Education Technology, and I've learned a lot of things they do, webness. In fact, I learned a whole project management course just by following their platform. If you are not in any, I'm not talking about the welfare communities, NAT, NAGRAT and Go. No, those people, they are interested in your salary increment, those kind of things. But for you to develop professionally so that you can fit into positions, you need to join professional learning communities. Currently in Ghana, I'm going to be a bit biased. Currently in Ghana, we only have one very strong and vibrant professional community for teachers, which is Ghana Society for Education Technology. You can check their socials, you can check their website, gset.education, and learn more about them. Then you should also attend webinars and conferences like this. Some of us, see, there was a time I didn't like TikTok. The only reason why I use TikTok today is because TikTok has introduced STEM. A STEM, how do you call it? Will I say STEM session of TikTok? That's why I'm on TikTok today. Yes, I like funny videos once in a while. But some of you can buy data 5 gig and you watch funny videos to finish. But when they say you should join a webinar to learn something new, you say I don't have data. Yes. So you start joining webinars, conferences, workshops. You should start attending some of those. Trust me, there is a lot of knowledge you can pick from some of those events. Now, I'm going to show you a technique. If you study, you notice that I'm not mentioning graphic design, data analytics, go and learn this and that, because I can't sit here and tell you what to go and learn. Let IKGAI determine what you want to learn. Maybe you are good with numbers, you are good at statistics, then you want to go and learn data analytics so that you can understand data more. You can use technology to analyze and visualize data and get insight from data. You get it? So there are a number of skills out there. Now let's look at this technique that I've used for a while to learn how to master any skill. How to master any skill. So I have two ways that I learn skills. If it is a skill that I have a little knowledge about, I just go straight ahead and I start building projects without learning the basics, because I already have some basics. But if it is a skill I am new to completely, I use another Japanese technique called SHUHARI. SHUHARI is a traditional Japanese concept from martial arts. We know martial art, kung fu and chinchon and those fighting styles. It is also applied to learning skills and development and career evolution. So SHUHARI is just 3 steps. It starts with SHU, which is talking about you following the rules. They say maybe you are learning how to design. I don't know, I'm biased because I'm a designer, I'm kind of biased. You are learning how to design. They say drag, click on the ellipse tool, drag it over the image, just follow it like that one by one. So you are just following the rules. When they say there, you say there. It is the same thing we do in the KG or the kindergarten classrooms. There is this kindergarten thing they use in teaching phonetics. Ba, be, bi, bo, bu. Then everybody will say it. Yes, they are just following the rules. No bend, no curve. Then after some time, you realize that you have moved to breaking the rules. So even though the madam in the classroom taught you ba, be, bi, bo, bu and da, de, di, do, do, you now see the students will be sitting in the classroom and they'll now pick any alphabet at all and they'll start creating their own things from it. So you see that you are now breaking the rules small. You are not just saying the things you were taught anymore. So once you have followed the rules to a point, you start creating your own things. You start going away from the rules. Then finally, it gets to a point where you transcend the rules, where now you are on top of the rules. You are now creating your own rules on how to do things. Today, with a few of the skills I've learned, I'm not that a master of them, but there are a number of them that now I create my own things. First, when I want to do a design, I go online. I can use 2 hours to search for inspiration. But sometimes, so I can just sit down and I'm just coming up with my own things like that. Because at a point, you transcend the rules. So with any skill you want to learn, start by following the rules one after the other. That process is gradual and it might be lagging a little. But after some time, you realize that you start breaking the rules. Then finally, you transcend the rules. Please, am I preaching? Am I talking to somebody? Thank you. Please, if you are following, kindly give me a thumbs up. If you are not following and you want to be the mischievous one, you can give me a thumbs down. I've not seen any thumbs down yet. I thought we have some stubborn people like who do I see on the call? Emmanuel Sefadia Egbebu, who you use thumbs down. See, God knows. You see the people. Great. Please, let's continue. Yes. So now let's look at some new and emerging roles within them. Some new and emerging roles within the education space that you can prepare yourself for, and there are a lot of opportunities in this space. You remember initially I spoke about the IKGAI. There are some of you who are very good at reading. You know how to read very much. You are good with language. And you keep teaching your students language and all that. You can read and all that. I can see David Peter. He's always on his status with new books. So you know how to read very well and all that. And you love teaching people how to read. So you love teaching students how to read. Do you know that currently in Africa, not just in Ghana, we have a literacy and numeracy deficit? So there are a lot of NGOs out there who are hiring people who are experts in literacy and numeracy so that they can improve literacy and numeracy in Africa. That is something that is going on. So if you can read, how do you develop yourself and position yourself for a role like that? When an NGO opens up and say we are looking for a literacy and numeracy expert to help develop a curriculum in literacy and numeracy, then you see teachers will be there and teachers will fold their arms. You will not see any teacher. You will see students who have read engineering in school go and apply for those roles. How do we identify those roles? Now, I have a quick activity here. If you are using your phone, you might want to minimize the window. We are all using either one or more of the generative AIs nowadays. ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini. Just put in this prompt. Just tell it to list new roles or emerging roles within the education sector. So I want you to do that activity in the next 1 hour. Hey, did I say 1 hour? Sorry. In the next 1 minute. In the next 1 minute. And just communicate. So you will tell me what some of the rules that you found that will be given to you as the results. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to share my ChatGPT window. Okay, great. So I am sharing my ChatGPT window now. I'm going to put in that same prompt. So I'm asking it, what are some emerging roles in the education sector? Now my results might be biased because my ChatGPT has been trained. My ChatGPT know me as someone who is into technology and education, so it will give me a lot of those results. But I want some of you to just tell me what you found. So you can just raise up your hand and tell me what your result is. Yes, who is speaking? Just unmute and speak, please.
So I found, good evening. I found instructional technologist, online curriculum developer, educational data analyst, AI and AIVR stroke AR specialist, and then wellness
Okay,
coordinator.
very good.
That's few
So
I will
you
allow
see that
people
there are a lot
to
of
share
roles
this.
in education that you don't know about. Have you found things that you don't know about in there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah, talking about the educational data analyst. I think this not the first time, but this I read about
exactly.
it more. But
Thank
this
you.
like an
Anyone
eye
else
opener for
want to
me.
share?
Yeah.
Anyone else
I
want to
join it.
share?
Like I know join, I go wow, I go yeah.
Oh, guys, it's a discussion. Is there anyone else who wants to join? Sorry, share. Someone just said join and confused me. Is there anyone else who wants to share? Okay. So if
The light no fit
yes,
on.
yes, kindly share.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, so I saw edutech integrational specialist and then learning experience designer. I think data and learning analytics officer, online program manager, and then AI education facilitator, and then data well-being officer, and then sustainability education coordinator, and then we have global citizen and SDG educator.
Make I go chop lah.
We have diversity,
Come and learn.
Okay.
equity, and inclusive consultant.
Okay.
Then we have
I
student
think
success
yes.
coach.
So let's leave it
There
there
are
for
10.
now. So you will realize that there are a lot of roles within the education sector that you as a teacher See, you don't need to leave the education field. You don't need to leave the education field. You can be a teacher and also be playing in these roles and actually succeed in these roles. These are the opportunities out there that teachers are not gunning for. We don't have a lot of teachers going into these roles. A lot of teachers are focused just on teaching in the classroom. Yes, you can teach in the classroom whilst you pursue some of these roles. If I go through mine, it's similar as some of you what you've gotten. Learning experience designer. In the near future, being a learning experience designer, in fact, currently, it's a top role. There are people who are into learning experience, and we as teachers, I always tell people that we are the best trained professionals because we have been trained to teach people. We have been trained to understand people. We are content creators. So you can actually design learning experiences for people, for students. And today, online courses are going on, and they are hiring people to become learning experience designers here and there. Online learning coordinator or e-learning manager, it is there. LMS, and you see that all these roles, we have skills under it that you need to fit into those roles. AI powered education strategies. I know a man on LinkedIn, and all he does is to train teachers on how to use AI in education, and he gets paid for that very well. So there are a lot of roles here. We have data and impact focus roles, and those ones learning analytics specialists. Today people want to very good. So I have Ethel sharing some here. Education voiceover artist, very good. So I think a year ago I applied for a role like this. They called me for interview, but then I just got a job, so I didn't mind them. They need people to do voiceover, and because if it is a science content you are doing voiceover on, because you were trained to teach science, you know exactly how to do that voiceover well. Workshop facilitator, edutainment script writer, educational social media strategy. There are a lot of things you could do within the educational space aside being a classroom teacher. So you realize that there are a lot of roles in there. I will leave it here. Take your time, go to the internet or even ChatGPT. Just ask ChatGPT to give you some of these roles. Go through them, look at all what these roles are about, and try and see which one best works for you, using the IKGAI framework to identify your purpose. Then you know which of them fits well for you. In my case, like I said, I'll be talking about myself a little. In my case, I've done my whole research, and I've realized that being an e-learning developer, a learning experience designer, edtech UI UX designer, those things fall in my domain. So that is what I've been pursuing for some time now. You can also pick yours. It could be learning analytics. So you learn data analytics, but you want to apply it to learning. Trust me, UNESCO published last year that there is not enough data on education, especially from Africa. And therefore it is difficult to measure learning outcomes in Africa. We need people who can go to the schools. The small action research we do for our project, you can start commissioning small action research in your classroom. You can collect that data, analyze that data, communicate the insight on your social media and all that. Put that insight together as a portfolio. You can even be presenting it to Education Office, Ministry of Education, telling them that, see, this is the gap here. This is the intervention that I think will work. This is the research I've done based on my intervention, and this is the percentage at which it works. As teachers, we should start doing that. Today in the world, there is a concept called research monetization. There are people who are monetizing research. They just conduct research, take the data from the research and the insights, and they sell it to other organizations for those organizations to develop products based on that research, and they will now sell those products. And you are making your money from there. So let's move on. Now, why are we in the best position? You know that teachers today, as teachers, we are in the best position. See, the best job you can do today is to be a teacher, not just a classroom teacher. I'm saying this, it might sound like a joke, but it's a fact. The best job you can do today is to be a teacher. I'm actually looking for an infographic to prove that to you. So the World Economic Forum released a report on the future of work in 2025. So every year they release that report. Now, if you also want to strive in this age, you have to be reading those kind of reports. UNESCO's Global Education Monitoring Report, World Education Forum's report. You have to be reading a lot of reports when it comes to education and when it comes to the future of work. Once you are reading those reports, you begin to get insights on what exactly the world needs and how you can also tailor your skills to fit that space. So I'm actually looking for that infographic. I thought I had it. I don't have it here. But in that infographic that was reviewed by the World Economic Forum, they stated that the future of jobs report in 2025, they are saying that with this wave of AI, they are saying that one of the jobs that AI cannot replace completely or cannot replace at all is teaching and monitoring. They said AI can only substitute 20% of your work that you do, but AI cannot replace you. You get it? But AI cannot replace you. You should also know that within that same space, even though AI cannot replace you, you should also know that if you don't upgrade or upskill, then AI will replace you. So you are in the best position right now. AI cannot replace you. No, AI can never replace teachers. AI may be able to replace classroom teachers, but they can't replace teachers. So let's say if you are now a curriculum developer and a learning experience developer, you can develop learning experiences and actually integrate that into an AI for the AI to teach students. There is a funny trend happening in Silicon Valley in the United States. Currently, AI engineers are being paid. Anybody working in AI, whether you are an AI trainer, AI engineer, or whatever, they are being paid just to sit at home without doing anything. That is what is happening. They are being paid to sit at home without doing anything because there is competition. Meta wants the AI engineers, Microsoft wants them. So when Microsoft realized that Meta is now approaching their AI engineers and paying them higher than Microsoft is paying just to let them move from Microsoft and come to Meta, Microsoft increased their salaries and told them that, see, even if you don't have any project you are working on now, I want you to stay at home. I'll pay you 3 times of what I used to pay you, just so that they can secure them. So it's very important we notice that. Now, as part of positioning ourselves for please, if you are following, kindly give me a thumbs up. I can notice the the numbers are dropping. Probably it's because of the time we spent so far. I think we spent just 1 hour so far. If you are following, thumbs up would be great. Very good. Kingsley is here. God knows is here. Enoch, Peter, yeah, great. Now let's continue. So to also position yourself for opportunities in this age, it is super important that you brand yourself. It's super important that you build an online presence. There was a time in my life, even when I was in college, that when you Google my name, Albert Dunu, there are two things that pop up. The political side, that I don't want to talk about it. The other side is my name being attached to, yes, Akatsico, you know, Mr. Zonya. My name being attached to one of his research works. I only offered a little support to him on that work, and he gave me credit on that his research work. Today, when you search the internet, okay, now I've built a number of footprints, but that is one of the results that will pop up. When you click, it takes you to that research work. So anybody who wants to know if I've played any role in education before, if they go and search my name and they see that research work, goes, oh, this guy has done something here. Myself, I know I didn't do much, but Mr. Zoya gave me the credit on it, and my name is there. Today, if people Google your name, what do they see? What do they know you for? You need to position yourself online. And to position yourself online, there are two tools that I'll introduce you to. The first tool is LinkedIn. Please, is there anyone here who is not on LinkedIn? If you are not on LinkedIn, kindly give me thumbs up. Okay, let's do it like this first. If you are on LinkedIn, give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. Yes, Enoch, we have been disturbing each other on LinkedIn all the time. Okay, Christian, I think I'll have to go and follow you. Yes. So LinkedIn is, I won't say it's just like any social media platform, but it's a bit different, a bit more organized, a bit professional than the like Facebook and all that. But you also need Facebook. Now I've never said this thing anywhere, but I want to say it here today. Today I'm working with GSET because of LinkedIn. I got offered my job via LinkedIn. Not on Facebook, not on Instagram, LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn. If I come and click on my name, let's see what pops up. You see me there. Educator, EdTech support, STEM and robotics coach, Edufluencer, UI, plenty things. I think I have to update this. You can see I don't know why it's not scrolling, but let me reshare. Yes. So everybody needs a LinkedIn account. If you want to know how to set up LinkedIn, optimize your LinkedIn and all that, there are billions of videos on YouTube that can guide you do that. 30 minutes, you can watch those videos and set up a very good LinkedIn profile. It's very important. Aside LinkedIn, the next thing you need to do is to build a portfolio. A portfolio is basically a collection of things that you have done, your achievements and all that. When we're in school and we're doing STS and co, we're asked to put together portfolios. Trust me, I know a lot of us just printed pictures on paper and all that. And whilst we're doing that, those who knew me when I was in school, I never printed a picture. We were doing videos and putting them on pen drives and all that. And today I still have some of those videos to attest that, see, I thought, I did this, I do that. And that could become very helpful. The fact is that in today's world, a lot of people don't hire anymore based on certificates. They hire based on what you have done and what you can do. And the only way, even nobody looks at CV anymore these days. Yes, they will take it, but they will not pay attention to it. What people pay attention to more these days is a portfolio, a collection of your achievements, a collection of your works. So if you're a teacher, for instance, when you come to my LinkedIn, I have my portfolio linked here. So you see, take a look at my portfolio. So this is my portfolio, and this is my digital portfolio. It's simply a website that was built for free. I didn't pay for a dime on Google sites. Once you have a Google account, you can have this for yourself. So you can see my portfolio here. I have some certifications. I've done some videos teaching certain technologies and all that. If I come to portfolio here and I go to certificates, you can see a number of certifications. If I go to gallery, you can see me teaching coding and all that, me at a PLC session, facilitating a PLC session. So when someone comes to this website, they know exactly what I have done. They don't need to look at my CV to know that, oh, I understand education technology. I have my teaching philosophy here, a number of projects attached to it. If I come to blog, I have a number of things I've written regarding technology. So today, if I go and apply for a job that talks about facilitator for a training, on AI, and I say yes, I can teach your teachers how to use AI in education, and they say, hey, are you sure? Have you done it before? If I direct them to my portfolio and they come and they see this article that I've written here alone, the article will give them the insight that, oh, this boy understands AI. He understands how to use it in education. So you need something like this. You might not get it as a website, but you need it, maybe even a PowerPoint presentation. Always you pack them together. Your achievements. You can even have sample lesson notes. You can have your action research, sample action research, and all those things well organized. If you want to read more about portfolios, go onto the internet and you can read more about portfolio. If I go further, of late I've developed the interest of building a more professional portfolio for my, just to represent my educational technology status, which I'll be moving these to very soon. You can see something like this. It's not complete though, but you have something like this, and this is what people, every job in today's world, you are going and they're asking you, where is your portfolio? Or attach a portfolio, a collection of your works, your philosophy, your thought process. All those things could be documented, and once they are documented, you could actually present to people that, yes, I know this, I am good with numeracy and literacy, and therefore I can develop a curriculum on numeracy and literacy. Now, I'm sure some of you are seeing this and you are wondering, how do I build something like this? It's not difficult. Actually, I was hoping that I'm actually working on a course on how to build this kind of portfolio using Google Sites. I was praying that I finished up that course before this webinar. but I couldn't rush it because it's something I want to put careful thoughts into. But let me just take you through quickly how to get a portfolio website like that. If you are logged into your Google browser this way, just open your, or you can search Google Sites. Just search Google Sites. Just search Google Sites. And once you search Google Sites, the first result here, which is sites.google.com, you can just click, and once you go, it takes you to this page. Everybody who has a Google account can create this. Once you have a Google account, you can create this. You only come here, click blank. You even have templates you can work with, and you have a website. You can add images to the website. You can add buttons to the website. Image carousels, all those, calendar. You can add all those things to the website. For instance, if I want to add a map, I can just do this and I insert and I can add a map. So I think it's loading. Yes. So Google Sites is very easy to build. I'm praying that very soon I complete my course on how to build a portfolio with Google Site. And once I'm done with that, I will share that course with you, and you can take the course and see if and see how you can build something simple like this. This is not difficult at all. So that is it with positioning yourself online for these opportunities. Once you have learned skills, once you can do things, you want to let the internet know that, hey, I can do it. You want to let other people know, your employers, people you are going to seek jobs from, you want to let them know that I can do it. There is one thing I didn't say about LinkedIn. Once you build a profile on LinkedIn, LinkedIn can actually identify your profile, and LinkedIn will be tailoring jobs that suit your profile, things that you say you can do. Please, who is sharing their screen, can you please stop sharing? Enormous Bodo. Can you please stop sharing your screen? Okay, so if you look at my LinkedIn here, you see when I come to jobs here, you see that, look, just because of my LinkedIn, today I'm having a job here, ICT teacher, because I stated that I can teach ICT at Brainy, teacher at this, curriculum development teaching and learning coordinator at TTEL. You see these jobs, it will shock you to know that some of the people who are filling these roles are not teachers. We are already in that position. Commander College of Education, they want 5 teachers. This thing have been in my this thing for a very long time. Instructional Technologies Center for Online Learning and Teaching, they want someone there. Course Instructor, Research Associate, Kofi Annan Institute, they want someone there. I'm sure this one is in line with the 1 million coders program because they are the people running it. So you can see jobs, a lot of jobs here. Some are just teaching, some are also roles within the education space that can actually propel you. So please get yourself on LinkedIn. Try and also build a digital portfolio. The portfolio you are building might not only be in Google Sites. Even your social media, the way you use your Facebook, What are you projecting on your Facebook? Are you projecting just marriage counseling? Do you want to become a marriage counselor? Do you want to be known as a marriage counselor? Or you want to be known as a curriculum developer? Are we getting the point here? If you want to be known as a curriculum developer, then you have to start sharing things on curriculum development. You have to start reading about it and sharing thoughts on it. When people post on curriculum development, you want to share your thoughts on it. That is where it gets you positioned for opportunities that might come your way. Folks, if you have any question at this point, kindly ask. I'll gladly answer. If I'm not able, any colleague in the house can answer them. Then we proceed. We've done 1 hour 15 minutes so far. At least in the next 15 minutes, we should end our webinar. Yes, Enoch. The technique I use is I don't just learn skills. I learn skills that I need at the moment. Okay, let me do a confession today. When I got into my current job, I didn't know that I was going to do anything data analytics. Fact, I didn't want to do anything data analytics. I don't want to have anything to do with data analytics. But of late, I'm realizing that a number of tasks that are being given to me are all data analytics aligned. So what do? I just need to give myself about a week and learn data analytics very well. If it is 3 hours a day, I'll give it. And learn it very well and master, or not really master, but know data analytics. Then, whilst I am learning, I am applying it immediately, because that is the job I'm supposed to use it for immediately. The problem with learning is that sometimes when you are learning and you are not going to apply it immediately, you get discouraged. So pick up things that you are applying immediately. Also, using the IKGAI framework, learn things that you love. Learn things that you love. See, if you don't like maths, you are maths, you are enemies. Then you say you are going to learn data analytics. You start and you meet, you are supposed to calculate a measure to bring out a result so that you visualize or something. And you can't calculate the measure because your mathematics is bad, you give up. So you want to learn something you love. You want to learn something that you are using at the moment. When I started learning graphic design, it was long ago. I learned graphic design on the go just by designing a banner for a school I used to teach. I just sat down and said, I have to design this banner. I have the skills a little. Everything on the banner, I watched a YouTube video to design it. After I finished designing that banner, I realized that I've acquired a number of skills. I now know how to use a number of tools that I've been seeing in Photoshop and I've never touched. So if you want to pick up a skill, you want to make sure that it's not easy. You want to make sure that you are using that skill to solve a problem in the moment. You are using it to solve a problem in the moment. It's very important. Otherwise, you give up on the way. Or even if you are not using it to solve a problem in the moment, it is a skill that you apply later in the future, or very in the immediate future. And have I answered your question?
Very well, you've answered the question. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much too. Please, any other question? Any other question?
Hello, yes.
Yes.
I'm Rebecca. I want
Great.
to find out, these online courses, there are lots of them. How do you know the genuine ones and then you don't just pay to the internet without getting anything good out of it?
Okay. I'm going to give you two answers. The best courses to learn is the ones that are not genuine. The best is the ones that are not genuine. And you can find a lot of them on YouTube. Just wake up one morning and say, oh, I want to learn, let's say, learning experience design. Or I want to learn what inclusivity. There is a name given to that concept. I want to learn inclusivity, how to include, prepare inclusive lesson plans. Do you know that one is someone's work? They know how to prepare a lesson plan that is inclusive. Everybody is captured. You will go on YouTube, you can scroll through 30 videos, and all the videos, what they are saying, you don't know the head and the tail of what they are saying. But as you keep watching and watching, you realize that in each of the video you are picking something. Me, I've watched millions of videos. Some I don't know why I was watching them, but I got to a point I realized why I was watching them. Another way to get the genuine ones is to pick up a course from a prominent platform like Coursera. When you go to Coursera have very genuine courses. They vet their courses very well, just that they are paid. If you go to AQ Skills, very well structured courses in our own normal Nigerian Ghanaian language. So I don't want to give you a guideline on how to get the genuine courses. Every course is genuine. You just learn it. Once you are done learning it, as you are learning them, you know the one that works best. Maybe in another discussion we'll talk about how to actually sort out the courses, maybe on YouTube or something, to get the right courses. But before we end this session, I'll be dropping a link in the in-call message box. Once you click it, it will take you to a list of courses. I've actually outlined a list of courses that you can take as teachers. So maybe you can start from there, Rebecca. Please, any other question? Please ask questions. So.
Yeah, Robert.
Yes.
So let me use this opportunity to thank you for taking us through this. The questions are not coming because whatever you've spoken on, it's well explained, and I'm trusting the participants of this webinar that whatever we have learned today, you see us you see us position ourselves so well for opportunities. So I'm not sure there are any more questions. So if there is any conclusion that you have for us, I think that we can take it from there and then
Okay, great. Thank you. We've done 1 hour 34 minutes. I'm glad we had this conversation. This is a conversation. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get this link in. I don't know what is wrong with my docs. Yes. So thank you for engaging in this conversation. We started with about 36 or something people. Our 67 people registered for the program, and you are the ones who got to stay till the end. I'm glad you stayed, and I'm hoping that the presentation that was made has actually equipped you with something to get started. Like I said before, I am not an epitome of knowledge. I'm not them. It's not like I have it all figured out. That is why I'm here. But it's simply because at this moment, it is my opportunity to share. It is my opportunity to share. Once again, my name is Albert Dunu. On all social media platforms, you can just search for Albert Selom Kofi Dunu. Let's interact. God knows I'm kind of delayed because I'm looking for this link. Okay, I got it. Let's keep in touch. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me later. So I'm dropping a link in the inbox. You can pick up that link. And hey, what is wrong with my internet? Okay, so it's gone. You can pick up that link, and I have a list of courses there. The first one, number one, Intel Skills for Innovators. When you get it, they'll ask you for a code. They'll ask you for a code to enter before you can access it. If you can reach out to me. I'll guide you on how to do it. You can just enter GSET SFI. So this is a resource for GSET, but I want to give it to you, Akatsico alumni and students, so that you can go and learn. It's a very good program. Rebecca, this one is well structured. This one is very legit. You can pick this up. Thank you very much. God knows. Over to you.
Alright, thank you so much, Albert. In fact, your time spent with us this evening is actually a great time. It's just that maybe. Alright, thank you so much, Albert. In fact, your time spent with us this evening is actually a great time. It's just that we want alumni of Akatsico to be part of this. Some joins, some did weren't able to join, but we have Enoch Maumonyo, who is not a pastor, but he's part of us, and that's a great opportunity that he has actually joined us. One of the things that I actually look at today is the IKGAI, that's the purpose of being. That's what do you love? That's the passion. What you are good at, the vocation. What does the world need? That's the mission. And what can you be paid for? That's the profession. So I think that with all of us, we have picked some stuff from whatever was taught to us this evening, and we will also prepare ourselves for the future. On behalf of PASU, I just want to thank you for your time, and anyone who has joined, thank you so much for making time for this evening. And this is just the maiden and then the virginity of webinars that will enlighten us.
Sorry, one more
So
thing. I am very sorry for
so
violating
let's keep ourselves
your
updated and then
privacy,
expect
but
more from
all
PASU
this
also.
while that we've
So
been
thank you
here,
for joining, and then
the session was recorded. So if you see snippet of it online, pardon me, don't take me to court, or don't take PASU to court. Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, do you have any other thing to say, Albert?
No, that's okay.
So, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, do you have any other thing to say, Albert? Okay. So, Sister Rebecca, if you are still here, kindly give us a closing prayer. Rebecca, Angela, AJ.
Okay, thank you very much. Let us pray. Our Lord Almighty Jesus, we thank you so much for a wonderful meeting. We pray that whatever we have learned, to God, make us doers of your
Amen.
words, as it has
Is she
come
done?
to this and many things we pray to
Oh,
fulfill. In
okay,
Jesus'
great.
name,
Amen.
Amen.
Alright, so thank you so much for joining us, and then I wish you all a good evening. So done. Have a nice evening, everyone. Amen. Alright, so thank you so much for joining us, and then I wish you all a good evening. So have a nice evening, everyone.